We are your home theater and AV questions answered. This is AVRant. Want your home theater or AV question answered by Tom and Rob? Send it to question@avrant.com. Welcome to AVRant. I'm Tom Andry, and I'm here with
Rob H.
Andrew. This comes from Facebook. Andrew finished his whole basement in one large renovation, and he pre-wired for 7.2 inside the walls. With the limited budget he had left over, he picked up used speakers. Paradigm Monitor 9s, Paradigm CC 290 center, and Paradigm 12-inch sub, and a Velodyne 10-inch sub, and a set of Energy Take Classics.
That's pretty good finds.
That is pretty good find.
Clearly knew some good products to keep an eye out for, so that's nice stuff.
Yeah. So if he expands to Atmos, could he use the Energy Take Classic speakers, or does he need special Atmos speakers? Now, you could totally use those energies.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you have a method of
Mounting
attaching them to the ceiling or high up on a wall, because it doesn't have to go on your ceiling. You can just go high up on a wall. Now, the Energy Take Classics are very small and light, so they're very easy to wall mount or ceiling mount. But yeah, I mean, as long as you're willing to mount them high up on the wall or on the ceiling, you can absolutely use them for Atmos, for sure.
So he says if he sticks with the 7.2 setup, would bipole surround speakers make a huge, worthwhile difference? The room was 12 by 18, and it's a dedicated home theater. I'm going to say no. I don't think they would make a huge difference. Would they make a difference? Maybe.
A little wider dispersion.
I don't know that you would... I don't think that on any level you would say it was huge, and I also don't think that you would notice it very often, if at all.
Like, let's say in your search for used speakers, you came across some of Paradigm's. Theirs is kind of like a half dipole, half bipole.
Right.
The woofers are bipole, but the tweeters are dipole. Let's say you came across some of those and you happen to find them used and they match the rest of your series. I'd be fine with you getting them. I'd also be completely fine with you getting just some bookshelf speakers in the Monitor series from Paradigm and using those as your surrounds. So whatever you happen to find that matches, or you know what, Paradigm's, well, you even asked this later, but Paradigm has a very neutral Canadian sound, that NRC designed sound, so they match very nicely with PSB, Energy, anything else that's quite neutral. RBH, NHT, Aperion, Ascend. They don't sound identical, but they're close enough that it's not going to be offensive to your ears at all, especially as surrounds. So lots of choices there. Yeah.
So he says for surround and surround back position, he says timbre matching make a huge difference. Should he be looking for matching Paradigm surrounds? Especially surround backs, by all accounts, timbre matching is not important. Now, highly mismatched speakers can be an issue, but that's not what you're talking about here.
If you had BNWs as your fronts and Klipsch's as your surrounds,
that would be an issue.
Probably notice, right? Yeah.
And there's a reason, and the reason so that people are like, "What's wrong with BNWs?" Nothing. They are hard to drive speakers, generally speaking. They have a characteristic sound that they're going for. Klipsch speakers are very easy to drive. They're horn loaded, and they have a very characteristic sound. Those two characteristics completely different from each other. Yeah. And you're going to have a problem with your receiver trying to level match those two speakers because the surrounds are going to take almost no power, and the fronts are going to take a ton. So you're going to find that when you go into your settings after it does its room setup, you're going to get like negative 12 or whatever the maximum is on all the surround speakers, and plus 12 on the fronts, and they're still not going to be perfectly level. Your surrounds are still going to be louder than your fronts. So that's why you can have some issues.
Yeah, but on the other hand, you got your Paradigm front stage. If you added some PSB surrounds, some Energy surrounds, you're already using the Energy Take Classic surrounds.
Yeah, stick with those.
You tell us, how bad is that really? Yeah. I'm betting it sounds very reasonable and very okay. So when you have speakers that are not identical but pretty similar, that's absolutely close enough to be a satisfying experience.
That's right. Want your question answered? Send it to question@avrant.com.
Let it go.
This is AVRant.
Now go out and listen to something.